Today's review is sponsored by Rope, the only true way to keep your kids off the internet.
Watch it, Alan. I'm shooting.
Basket Case 3.
You're gonna need a bigger basket.
We're at the final installment of the Basket Case Trilogy. If you haven't seen my reviews for the first two movies, please click up there somewhere. And like in my last video, in order to talk about this movie, I'm gonna have to spoil the ending of Basket Case 2. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Please go watch Basket Case 2 before watching this video. And while you're at it, watch Basket Case 1. I can wait. All set? Okay, moving on. As has become the case in this series, Basket Case 3 begins with the ending of Basket Case 2. Belial has fallen in love with a deformed woman named Eve, and the two of them have sex. I won't show it here because YouTube will crucify me, but I can say with the utmost sincerity, it's upsetting. Meanwhile, Duane is about to have a much less upsetting sex scene with his love interest, only to find out that she's pregnant. And she's been pregnant for 6 years, with a deformed baby. This results in Duane accidentally killing the woman he loves, so he snaps and sews Belial back onto himself.
Hey, it's okay. We're together again.
This brings us to Basket Case 3. Some time has passed between the events of Basket Case 2. Belial has been removed from Duane, and is now an expecting father. That's right, his girlfriend Eve is pregnant, and ready to give birth to some bouncing baby mutants. Duane is still recovering from his mental breakdown, and the two brothers don't seem to trust each other anymore. But don't worry, this is not just a family drama with freaks. We've got Belial's children getting kidnapped by the local police, and Belial going on a rampage to get them back. Belial! Might as well come right out and say it. For me, this is the weakest movie in the series. I can't bring myself to call it a bad movie, but it is a troubled movie. There is some entertaining stuff here, but the execution could have been better.
You broke the law, and now you must pay. You're a naughty boy, Duane. Naughty, naughty.
The main issue is how silly the movie gets. True, the first two Basket Case movies had plenty of goofy moments, but there was more of a balance. Basket Case 3 gets a little too ridiculous at times.
She's had 5 and she's still alive! I need a smoke!
Once again, I do have to give respect to director Frank Henenlotter for wanting to make Basket Case 3 different from the other two. The idea of having Belial become a father and having all these little Belials running around could make for some fun moments. The babies don't do much though, except get captured. There is a little baby Belial action, but not much. We do get an upgrade in the effects once again, and we get some new freaks in the mix. Then there's the silliness. First of all, there's a musical number. The song does work for the movie, and the fact that they're singing Personality is funny. But then the freaks start pulling out musical instruments. It goes just a little too far. That's the case with most of the silly moments. They go just a little too far. It doesn't really hurt the character of Duane because he's always had this goofiness to his character. But Granny Ruth does suffer in this movie. First of all, her granddaughter died in the previous movie because of Duane. But, oh well. all is forgiven a little too easily.
In the meantime, we're all going on a little vacation.
Oh.
And we'd like you to join us.
Yeah.
Won't that be nice?
Can I have some pancakes?
Granny Ruth did have her funny moments in Basket Case 2, but for the most part, she had this commanding presence. But in Basket Case 3, the silly overtakes her as well.
I'd like 25 deluxe cheeseburgers, 17 double cheeseburgers, 14 chili cheeseburgers,
Slow down,
19
please.
bacon cheeseburgers,
You want this on one bill? Ma'am, you're going too fast. I didn't get that, ma'am.
In the other two movies, the dialogue had this corny charm. Here, it feels like it's trying too hard to be funny.
Bailey, you book the Bradley boy. Baxter, take the bassinet of baby Belial's in back and get Brody to come by. Where's Brennan and Banner?
Bowling. It's Thursday, Sheriff.
It's unfortunate because this is not the movie Frank Henenlotter wanted to make. I've seen interviews with him where he fully admits this movie's bad. Right after Basket Case 2, producers wanted Henenlotter to make another sequel. He went against his better judgment and said yes. Basket Case 2 came out in 1990. Basket Case 3 came out in 1991. This was not common for Henenlotter. He said many times that he doesn't want to make a movie unless he has an idea. But here he was on such a high from making Basket Case 2 and Frankenhooker that he went against his instincts. And that's where things started falling apart.
You must be Mr. Bradley.
Duane Bradley. May I borrow a Swiss Army knife?
It's been far too long, Ruth.
Henenlotter wanted to make this movie the goriest movie in the series. He wrote the script and had all these bloody moments. He talked with the effects department, they started working on the effects, and then started filming. Then the producers told Henenlotter that they wanted him to try to make a PG-13 movie. After they were already knee-deep in production.
Belial! Belial! Put that down! Belial! Come on down! You're a bad Belial!
I never understood making a PG-13 sequel or remake to a series that's rated R. That's not a knock on PG-13 horror movies. There are plenty out there that are effective. Jaws was rated PG, for Christ's sake. Of course, it was 1970s PG, but still. I just don't get making a PG-13 sequel to an R-rated series. Most of the people going to see this movie are fans of the previous movies, so all you're doing is annoying the fans by giving them a neutered version of what they like. Plus, these producers already produced Basket Case 2 and Frankenhooker. You know what kind of movies Frank Henenlotter makes. And the movie got an R rating anyway, so it was pointless.
Hold it! Hold it! She's beginning to leak!
Henenlotter had to take out 11 pages of script. He had to rewrite new scenes while in production with a smaller budget than Basket Case 2, and he had to remain on schedule. That's why he put in more goofy scenes. They were the easiest thing to write.
You liar! You're worse than Granny Ruth!
Who?
I don't know. I never heard her.
The scene where Belial's girlfriend Eve gives birth was supposed to have blood, slime, and fluids spraying all over the place. Instead, he gave a humorous monologue to a new freak named Little Hal. The funny thing is, the actor screwed up right from the very beginning and started babbling random shit while waiting for Henenlotter to yell cut. Instead, Frank decided to just wait and see what happens. So what you see here is an actor panicking while desperately waiting for someone to yell cut.
Push it out! Push it, you little push! 11! 11! Name one! Bob!
The best scene is the attack on the police station. Duane, along with Belial's kids, have been kidnapped by the cops. So Belial goes in to rip some people apart. We do get some good kills here, but this effect shows how much Henenlotter got screwed.
Oh, Jesus, God!
The kill was supposed to be much different. There was supposed to be blood pouring out of the mouth and shooting out of the eyes. But after the producer interference, they did not have the time or money to change the effect. The reason it looks so hokey is because it's an unfinished effect.
You're alive! You're alive! You're alive! You're alive!
I do have a soft spot for this movie, but that's mainly because of the connection to the other two. I could go on about this, but let's just get to the Grindhouse rankings. We've got a body count of 10, give or take a death or two. The kills consist of, but are not limited to, gunshots, face rippings, heads being turned around, and being eaten alive by baby Belials. The effects have been updated, and we do get some new freaks. The nudity is high with some large and obviously fake tits, which I'm not here to judge. There's a little too much goofy in this movie. We do have to deal with some unfinished effects. There's a little too much corny dialogue, but it's still fun seeing Duane and Belial at it again. I'm giving this a 3 out of 5, but that's mostly because I do have a soft spot for this movie. I get why people don't like it. It is worth checking out if you're a fan of the other two. Thank you all for joining me in this little dive into the Basket Case Trilogy. I'm a proud Basket Case fan, and I'm happy to be a Frank Henenlotter fan. We need filmmakers like him to give us something different in the horror genre. There's really nothing like the Basket Case Trilogy. I heard Henenlotter has an idea for Basket Case 4. I'm ready for a new Henenlotter horror movie, whether Basket Case or something else. But to any producers who greenlight the project, let Frank be Frank. As always, I want to thank all of you for watching and supporting my channel. If you're new here, please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you like what I do here, or give it a thumbs down if you don't like what I do here. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your favorite horror trilogy. This is the Maniac, here to remind you that the Grindhouse will never die. Come back, Frank.